Imagine if Trump and DeSantis are like, look, man, if there's one time ever where you and I, let's just do this together. I'll go 1 term, you take 2 terms, and let's go run together. Do you think this unifies Trump and DeSantis at all?
I think it has to, but there was a really interesting pairing that I saw suggested the other day was Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I thought was, now I'm not a big fan of MTG, but you said something the other day that DeSantis and Trump are both type A personalities. Yeah. I don't know. First of all, I don't think Ron DeSantis would make the mistake of running against Trump in a primary. I think he knows exactly what would happen. I think he looks at Ted Cruz, your wife looks like a dog, and like he knows that. I don't think there's any way Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, I'm not asking Marjorie. I'm asking, does this, because here's the big concern. Is those two going up against each other, right? The way the left is going to do it is divide and conquer. You got to pin those two against each other.
Right.
You have to do that.
Bingo.
It has to be strategic. Does this unify those two to say we're both alphas, but let's do this together for 4 years?
I think it unifies them, but I don't think it puts them together. I really think actually that DeSantis stays in as governor of Florida. He stays in Florida, and Trump picks another solid running mate. As nice as it would be, and I think as powerful as it would be, I don't see that happening.
I wonder
because what purpose does it serve? What purpose does it serve to remove Ron DeSantis as the strongest governor in the nation, of the strongest state in the nation right now, to put him as the vice president? And then who would backfill him? Who would backfill Ron DeSantis? And how can we guarantee that who backfills Ron DeSantis keeps Florida as it is? Florida is a beacon right now.
Don't think selfishly. Think if you lived in Tennessee. Forget about Florida. Think you're living in Idaho. You're not living in Florida. Think America more than you think about the state we're living in today. Does this bring those two together?
It should. I think it should. I think it won't. Because in my concept, DeSantis is another one who is playing the game of political strategy, and his career, his individual career, has he's taken a lot of risks, put his neck on the line on principle, and I respect that. I respect many of the things Ron DeSantis has done in a time of crisis. He held the breach, and that's something that's commendable. But to what degree must be measured against the circumstance we're in. And if he really believes that we're under attack the way he says he does, if all of these people, Donald Trump too, if all of these people really believe that America's existence with our foundational values and ideas is facing the existential threat that it does, all of them have to put their ego aside and their ambitions. That's something a good Christian faith would give them. It's not about me. It's not about me running in 24. It's about what's best right now for we the people. And for we the people, a DeSantis Trump ticket would say that all of the tangential, political, ancillary strategy and trajectories and me in 24, 28, none of that matters. We're going to stand side by side based on sacred honor. But they're going to have trouble coming to that because neither one of them think that way. And their behavior up until this point has proved that. They think along the lines of political strategy. That's part of the reason why Trump endorsed a bunch of candidates who aren't really America first. But he did it, and they end up winning.
Rhinos, yeah.
And the MAGA people are raging, but they're like, I'm seeing it on the grassroots level in the.
Trump is a strategist. Trump is not. He's not
right.
at your level of. His method of getting things done is very different than the way you get it done.
And to my point though, his people betrayed him the first time, and he hasn't learned yet. And I pray at night that going into this next election cycle, he will have a change of heart and mind because his people betrayed him. When you think strategy too much, sometimes you're too smart for your own good.
Yeah, but people. So then, what? Jesus was not his people betrayed him.
Yes.
Yes. That is part of the game. The part of the game is betrayal. Betrayal is part of the level you're competing at. You're not going to be able to
stop betrayal.
No,
right.
Man. It happens that the higher you move up, the more it's going to hurt. But it's going to happen.
No doubt.
So he's playing at a different level, and it's very normal for that. I understand the way I'm explaining it doesn't make sense. Like, what do you mean it's supposed to be normal? It's very normal.
At that level.
It's very normal.
Look, my criticism is just because most of the criticism against me is, well, you started off, leading these peaceful protests for George Floyd, which were really more about corporatocracy, not about racism and police.
Sure.
But it was framed that way, and now they go, well, now you're just a shill for Donald Trump or the far right. I'm like, no, I mean, there's criticism to go around.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump has a fair share that he should reasonably get. But you're right, at that level, just like I said about him picking the proper, even the Attorney General, Bill Barr was probably a bad pick. But he trusted him. And he came up short, and we're all going to do that.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.